Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
I will always feel something. I will always feel.
Welcome to the Luncheon with Lisa show. Y'all, this is our second season. We're in the first month of our second season with Luncheon with Lisa. And we've had some great guests on here since this is the third week. So we're on a roll now. I'm missing my partner in crime, but that's okay. I know she's with us in spirit. So y'all bear with me because it feels like I'm all alone, but I had some wonderful guests with me for the Luncheon with Lisa show. And we're going to get into, actually, I'm gonna change what I was getting ready to say. We're getting ready to seize a moment today on August the 19th. For this hour, we're gonna be seizing a whole bunch of moments because we have a lot of collaborative things going on this one screen right here, and we're gonna connect the dots tonight. But before we get started, I wanted to remind everybody to take a minute and share, share, and comment on the show. Let us know how you're loving the guests, because I know you're gonna love them. Luncheon with Lisa comes on every Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we've changed things up a little bit. So we have segments to Luncheon with Lisa now. So we're getting used to the flow, but it's exciting because not only do we kind of interview the guests and find out what they have going on, we actually have some questions for them about just current events and things like that to kind of get in their head and just have some real conversation and find out what folks are lunching about, since this is the Luncheon with Lisa show. So thank you all for joining in. I also have a couple of shout outs for some things that are going on this weekend, and also a project that's coming up next weekend for me is in the form of a movie release. So I'm excited to share it. I'm going to show the flyers. I couldn't get all of the video. It's just a whole bunch of videos. So we're going to just talk about some things, send you to where you need to go. But first, I want to welcome my guests. Welcome Tamika Joy Harris Russell. And also welcome Michelle Boulden-Hammond to the Luncheon with Lisa show. So let's seize a moment. This is what we're going to do first. We're going to tell you who they are. And then we're just going to kind of get into the conversation and find out how all this fire started. Who was the fire starter in all of this? So before we get started, let's talk about, we have Tamika Joy Harris Russell, who is known professionally as Tamika Joy. She's a singer, songwriter, philanthropist, founder, and president of her organization, Stars Performing Arts. Tamika has been in the music industry for over 20 years. She started in church and was inspired to sing by the tender age of 3. Whitney Houston, it was the one who touched her heart and gave her a different type of love for music. Tamika leads with a 7-octave range. Tamika took a hiatus from being in the spotlight for some time to raise her 6 beautiful children. She's managed to do a lot of things in the background over the years that has helped keep her passion alive, like background vocals for gospel artist Andrea Dumas. Am I saying her name right? On Bonnie Blackshear's debut album, The Total Praise, and many others. Consulting artists managed her 2 children's careers, DJ Cash and singer Treasure Joy, along with the Capital Kids and Urban Mickey Mouse Club group. And in 2005, she became the first lady of DC's own legendary go-go band Junkyard and was the casting director for Chuck Brown's video Block Party, just to name a few. So Tamika has recently released a single with VMG band called Be Free and SOS band called What About Us. She's performed with other recording artists such as Frank McComb, Kima from the group Total, and X Factor's David Corey. Made history singing in 2 go-go musicals, Wind Me Up, Maria, 2016, Ganga Theater at Georgetown University, and the Jizz. That's how I say it, right?
The
Jizz. 2018, the theater at MGM National Harbor as Glinda, the Good Witch of Georgetown. Tamika was an extra in the BET premiere movie Angrily Ever After in 2019, directed by actress Terry Vaughn, performed at Felt Lounge and Bar at the MGM National Harbor and the Carlisle Club in Alexandria, Virginia for the Golden Girls Dinner Theater with DC Black Broadway. She got a lot of things going on and she is not done. She's not done. Okay, so we just getting started. So y'all already know that flicker, the flame, y'all, it's already started.
Boom.
So yes, it's about to explode because I'm going to actually introduce you to our other guests. The modern music reflection of old school music, neo soul, gospel, jazz, rhythm and blues, you name it. The indie artist who waited for her midlife to break the norm into music in the music sector. A woman who is a multi-talented vocalist and songwriter born in Eastern Maryland. Other artists like singer-songwriter Maggie Rogers also is from the same town. Michelle Boulden-Hammond rebirthed her magic of penmanship writing poetry, in which during the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic, Seize a Moment was birthed. This song encompasses the message of inspiration. All it took was this soulful wife, mother, and grandmother, one studio session to bring this message of inspiration to life. Michelle has always been surrounded by music and began singing at the early age of 5. She has a vast variety of influence of musicians that she credits her soulful sounds. They include Aretha Franklin, Gladys Knight, Minnie Riperton, Al Green, Otis Redding, Joe Tex. Some newer artists include Jasmine Sullivan, Jill Scott, and Andre Day. Andra Day, Eric Roberson, and many more from various walks of life. She quotes, "Music sets the soul on fire." One significant factor she wants to include in her music that you are never too old to follow your dreams. She will be releasing another project in early 2022, and this will encompass some of her artistry of spoken word, collaboration, and other indie artists. Her music is outlined to be a perspective of encouragement, inspiration, and hope. So please welcome Michelle B. Hammond as well. So now y'all know why it's fire, right? Okay, so we're about to blow up right now. So I have a few questions for you all because I want to kind of connect the dots for everybody. So let's talk a little bit about how this happened. So Michelle, I want to start with you. When did you decide? Because I know Tamika's been in the music business for a long time, so you all made this connection. But when did you decide that you were going to do this?
So as you read in the bio, 2019, the COVID came, but I had met Tamika prior through a book collaboration that we was on with Dr. Tashika, Women Walking in Excellence, and she had put together, helped Dr. Tashika put this together. But I had met her prior to that, but I did not know until that collaboration of Women Walking in Excellence that she actually helps people along with this. And she said to herself, she said, I do this, but I'm always sitting on the back burner. So you know me, you know how I am. I'm like the first to push people. So this was a push for me. When I turned 50 last year, I was like, I've been singing in choirs. I've been on, productions at church. I've been, doing it all. Why not write the song, the music? So I told her what I needed. She told me to give my voice what works well with it, what didn't work well with it. And this is how it all came about.
Well, and I want to make everybody know that when she's talking about there was a book collaboration, and Tashika Green was the visionary, and that's how they were, further made the connection and got into the music, because I think that's when I think hosted or was MC for the book project. So it's funny how you sit in rooms and you never know what's going to happen, like, how the magic comes together. But you all seized several moments and made some things happen. So Tamika, and then I have another question for you, Michelle. But Tamika, how did that collaboration? Did Michelle approach you, or how did that happen?
Yeah, she called me. I don't know if it was a couple of days or days after, because I was talking with Dr. Tashika, and she was saying that I had did a commercial. That's what happened. I did a commercial, and my music was playing in the background of my commercial for people to buy my book. I mean, buy the book, but
Right.
my, you know, my version, my chapter. And so I was trying to get people. She was just like, I love this. This is so good. She was like, and I said, I offered to her that I could do that for other authors, other co-authors. I could do that for them as well. And so I personally inboxed her and let her know, you know, if this is something that the other co-authors would like to have for themselves, let me know, or could you let them know, and I'll be able to help them. And so she was just like, oh yeah, absolutely. And she was like, this is what you do, you know, and I was telling her yes. And I said, so she was like, how do you do songs? Like, do you do jingles and stuff? So she was like, because I've been trying to get a song and haven't been able to really find someone to do it because I'm tired of writing. I don't own the rights.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, absolutely. So she was like, oh my gosh, if you could do that. And as soon as she said it, I just kind of started working. So like the day or two I went by and I sent her, you know, the track that I did. And she was like, called me, was like, girl, I done woke everybody up in the house. She was like, I just kept screaming. I can't believe this. This is awesome. It's beautiful. I love it. And she kind of just held it to herself until the release of the book, you know, of the event. And so it kind of, that's kind of how it kind of, you know, happened. Of course, once we did have the release of the book and that event, she kind of just told everybody, this is Tamika. She's also the co-author, but she wrote this song and did the jingle. And
I love it.
Yeah,
Michelle. I love it. It was kind of magical how things happen, because I think when we were sitting on there, I was just like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. And then when Michelle came out, sees the moment, I was just like, oh, you know what? It was making me, okay, so y'all don't laugh. Okay, don't laugh. But I was like, dang, I wish I could sing, because it was like, I want to do this too. But it's like, okay, no, I am not a singer. So
you can
tell
sing.
me, I can sing in the shower or in this little craft room right here when we are not live. That's when I can sing.
Trust me, there's some professionals that, you know, you can hold some candle to it.
That's probably true. So I wanted to ask Michelle, because, you know, we always think that when we have a dream to do something like this, that it has to start when we're younger. Or, you know, people are always used to hearing this saying that, oh yeah, when I was little, I used to dream of this, but that's not always true. Some dreams hit you anytime in life. So to explain the why now with this, because I think it's cool and it kind of represents, you know, my generation. Like, don't sleep on us. We
exactly
things, okay.
You know, and one of the things was, you know, something hit when I turned 50. I was like, you know, I'm halfway there. I'm half of 100. So why not do what you want to do? I wrote down a list of things that, you know, I really want to accomplish. And that was the main thing on the top of the list. I've always been a writer. So that helped a whole lot. But that's what I'm like, why not? But I kind of get upset, because when you have like those shows, those singing challenge contests, they got a certain age range.
Right.
Why stop? I'm like, if an 86-year-old can go get her master's degree at college, why do you stop? So I just want to be that inspiration to tell people you're never too old to follow on your dream. If you believe it, receive it, and carry it out. You know, carry it out. He'll give you the tools, and Tamika was the tool to help it come to life.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little commercial break real quick, and then we're going to come back, because I have some more questions about how this explosion happened, and we're going to talk a little bit about the process and how much fun it was, because I'm sure it was a ball. So we will be right back. explain how that is connecting the dots up in here tonight too in a minute. But I wanted to get back to talking about this game plan. So once y'all got together and you decided this is what you want to do, I can help you, and y'all decided this was going to be kind of a collaboration. What kind of steps did it take, and just tell us how much fun it was to get up in the studio. I can only imagine.
Oh my God. So I, as I said in the bio, I've been in a studio, but not like the professionally studio. But I was thinking like, man, I'm gonna have to stop this time, go this time. I was like really worried and pressured. And when Tamika husband goes, you knocked it out the box the first time. What you been practicing? And I hadn't. I just been listening to it. I was like, oh man. I was like, really? So and I brought my cousin that day on the journey with me, and we cut up for a while, but it was down to work. We got it done, and that's how it came. Only one take, a couple takes, we did it, and that was it.
It had to feel great to finally be doing something like this, and Tamika to feel like I can help, another sister. We talk about collaboration all the time. You always hear a conference or something, but and this is just my personal take. A lot of times we're just talking about it, but there's no real collaboration.
Right.
I mean, sometimes people dip in, they help you, and then they go about their business, and there's really no connection. But this was a connection that just kind of continues and grows. So how was it, Tamika, to pull one of your sisters into the studio, and then her dream has become a reality?
It was awesome. It was something that, I envisioned. Well, God, when God gave me the vision to do this, because, I was just that same person that sat in, the same shoes that she sat in at 50. I was in my 20s, but, I was like, well, life has gotten in the way here. And, I either have to be an artist or I'm gonna have to be a parent. And of course, I made the decision to be a parent, but I know that the passion was my zen. Like, the music is what drives me to not lose my mind, being the wife and the mother and everything. So in the background, I'm doing a whole lot to help others. And so I was given the vision of, well, this is something that a lot of people I know are dealing with, that life has gotten in the way. They're no longer able to do these things that they always wanted to do. And it's nothing that a lot of people are doing, because the industry, like you said, Michelle, at the end of the day, they have these certain age range only because the market is there they have to market it to where you can make enough money for them to get the money back from you being. So your youth, your tender age is what they want, so that they could be able to get longevity, to be able to get the money from you. At a certain age, you it's not a lot of money that they're going to be able to get, or they feel like, they can't, make you dress, provocatively, and, all those different things that they want,
they can't mold you.
Right. People can't, not going to buy into you at 50, like they would buy into you at 20, and you're attractive to the eye, and you're not knowledgeable of, certain things, where they, like you said, mold them into what they want you to be. And so at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going against the grain, because I've already did that. I've been there, done it, had my moment, when it comes to the industry. But I want to show people that you can also do this outside of the industry and have peace and be able to have fun and conquer something that you want to do. So it definitely felt well when, Michelle wanted me to do this. The procedure of it was I told her to send me what she had. And it was probably about 6 sentences, probably like 6 to 7 sentences. And so I had to create a song out of that, so coming up with the melody, coming up, with the song, the song itself. So we went through a few tracks. I had her sing, so I could hear her, so I could say, okay, I'm not going to be here, and her tone is here, or I'm not, so I had her have me sing and send to me a acapella of her singing so that I could hear her voice and hear her tone. And then I also had made a meeting for us to hear some of the tracks. She picked the track that she liked, and once we picked that track, then I went in and created a melody. Once I created the melody, I then sung the song in a reference, and then I sent her the reference for her to learn, and that's what she did. She learned it to a T. And she created that, and she made it her own, and voila, here we are.
Because I found myself, especially in the beginning, I found myself now, the more I listen to it, I catch myself kind of, it's catching, like immediately it's catching. I love it because I'm like, oh my gosh, Michelle, I'm singing. Excuse me. Hold on.
She really excited. That's a real exciting moment.
That's a real exciting.
For real about that.
Yes, indeed. Girl, I was like, oh my gosh, Michelle is on a record. I did want to shout out Shariva.
Yeah, I saw that. Hey,
I think that's Shariva on vacation.
Exactly.
So tell us, Michelle, how it felt to actually hear yourself on a song.
I still can't believe it. I'm like, I'm right now, and I'm like, sometimes I'll be like pinching myself. And that very first day that I heard it on the radio through the Jazz Live experience, oh my God, I was posting it. I was like, do you believe this? And then now that I'm seeing, my sister out in Illinois, she said, oh my God, I'm gonna have to get another CD because my husband is playing it all the time. And she's like, he's gonna burn it out. And she sent me the picture of it being played in the car. So exciting. I'm like, I still can't believe this, but I say to everybody, when God is in it, there is no stopping. I mean, he was behind this, and I thank him daily. I'm very humble about it, but I also share it with people. What you see now, you haven't seen what that song meant to me back in 2017. That's when the poem was written. But some things we don't understand then, and then here we are to 2020. He's like, you already got the song. Use your poem. So I have a whole book of poetry.
Right. Well, I wanted you to talk about that. So the name of the song is "Seize a Moment."
Yes.
So explain what that meant to you, because I mean everybody could translate that very differently, but it actually, everybody can use that "seize a moment" for whatever is going on in their life. But what did that mean to you?
So for me, it, even like I said, the COVID brought us so much challenge. We were not prepared for that at all. And I still say I have empathy. I have long sorrow because I lost family members. But I think that was like a time for God was like telling us, it's time for you to seize a moment, through all this despair, through all this grief, and through all this stuff that we have, because we still got to, regardless what we're going through, we might be going through, but we still have to have that inspiration, some kind of fire lit. So, even in the lyrics, if you listen to the lyrics, it's like, the inspiration is the path I take, the thought process when I awake. Now, if we affirm that in the morning, and I'm not saying every day is a glory day, but that can change somebody's life. And, we so built up upon building wealth, but won't we build wealth on relationships? I think that'd be so much more better for us. And I mean, I'm not saying money economical doesn't make it to take the run, but if we spent more time building wealth on relationships, I think it'd be so much better. And it's just, the words are just powerful. It's an inspiring message. It's just powerful.
I agree. And I'm a positive affirmations kind of person. So that's what I pull from it, because I said, well, I started to realize that "Seize a Moment," that song applies no matter what. If you're having a good day, if you're having a bad day, you're having an interesting day, whatever's going on, you can seize a moment in time, a moment in a year, a moment. So it was perfect. I love the name of it. I love the song. I keep listening to it over and over and over again. I wanted to play the video, but I wasn't able to pull the video up. So I'm gonna make sure before we leave out of here that Michelle tells you where to find this video, where y'all can download and listen to it over and over and over again in your car or wherever you at. You see, it got me choked up. I was so excited about, oh my goodness, it's kind of cool to be able to see this happen.
And
You know what I'm
I
saying?
like
I didn't even know you wanted to do a song. And then when it happened, I was like, look at that.
in the video that when you watch the video with so much of grievance that we had among color through races, we had a lot of that in that. And that also has a message in it that, of course, the person's house that I shot. And there's a story behind that. How I ended up shooting the video at her house was something that I did back in 2007. Brenda Kirby, I give her a shout out. She is an owner of this fancy boutique Frugalicious that has, top of the line consignment shop. But at the time, I host these retreats. And her daughter was just starting out when Zumba was really booming, like in 2009. And I had called her to say that I was looking for a Zumba instructor. And when I was looking for the Zumba instructor, she was like, well, I no longer do it, but nobody will give my daughter a chance at the Zumba for being a Zumba instructor. I said, well, tell her, come on, I'll pay for her way to come and do us for the retreat, the ladies get away in the Pocono. She came, she did it. And right to this day, how I ended up with that, because she said, you, Michelle, you so happened help my daughter along. And I never forgot that. And then with her mom being in the video as well, her mom is going through some health challenges, Mom Shirley. And for that day of the release, she was like, you done give me something that I can take to my grave. See, that's
Wow.
the message.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, you have to see it.
Yes.
It's color barriers. It means we can get along, no matter what. So yeah, it's so peaceful.
Support each other and help each other. That's powerful right there. I mean, that's the epitome of seizing a moment. That had to make you feel amazing.
Yeah,
I actually wanted to with Tamika, because so what genre, and I'm gonna ask this because I'm not, I love music, but I don't really know all the ins and outs. So what genre would Seize a Moment kind of be? Is that like indie? Or what kind of music is that considered? Or can it go other way, several ways?
Yeah, it could definitely fall under inspiration.
Inspiration.
It can definitely be R&B.
Okay.
Easy listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be a plethora of different things.
Because we're gonna talk about where Michelle wants this a Seize Moment to go. Because this is only the beginning, but I wanted to pull Tamika in a little bit and talk about because Tamika, you've been in the business for 20 years. So tell us a little bit about, your range in several ways about what kind of music you've been out there doing, because 20 years of music, that's major.
Well, I started off, of course, in most of the artists, start off in church, and that's where I started off, and until I heard Whitney Nippy, Elizabeth Winston, and I was like, that right there, I need that right there, and I just have, fell in love with R&B. And to the point to where when I did get into the music industry, my sound, it varied from song to song to they would say, well, we don't know where to put you, because I did, for the most part, they want to put you in a box and make you sound a certain way and be a certain way, but they couldn't, I didn't have more than the other, so they were just like, we don't know what to do with you, girl. And so until a gentleman by the name of Kadar Massenberg. He came up with this neo-eclectic sound, and it was like a neo soul when he was with Motown, and that's how the music and the Jill Scotts, the different ones that came that were like almost like that sound that wasn't necessarily R&B ish.
Yeah, it crossed the line,
It
right?
kind of was like a balance of the jazz, of the easily listening R&B ish, but it wasn't that one or the other. So that's when it kind of, they were like, okay, let's put her here, and I was in that
Okay.
beginning of that whole thing. And so, of course, with relationships that I was in, and I mean, far as love relationships and trying to be an artist and also be in a relationship, it was really kind of difficult because I couldn't find a balance, or I couldn't find the right person that was
To
able
handle that,
to handle that.
right?
And the bad part about it, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'll find someone that's in the industry that kind of understands that. But was I wrong? Dead wrong. They were just like, yeah, I understand it, but you can't do it.
Right, right.
So I mean, most of my relationships outside of the one that that was not in the music industry gave me a hard time about it, but of course those that also were in the music industry gave me a hard time, to where it it caused problems with my the company that I was involved with. And Michelle, actually, you were on yesterday at your show. You were talking a little bit when I clicked on. We're talking. You guys were talking about biz, and my story with that is I was signed with the Bismont, and my relationship. My boyfriend at the time was in the music industry. Well, he kind of harassed my manager, who was business manager, and he was just getting started, and I was like would be his only and first female artist that he signed, but because of my ex harassing him, he let me go. And
Oh,
didn't
wow.
even tell me that he let me go. I was basically calling around, going through my stylist, trying to figure out what was going on. And I did not even know, but almost 17 years, a little bit before he passed away, I got my answer at Howard University. Excuse me, Howard Theater. I
Okay.
apologize. Howard Theater. We both, Biz was on the same marquee as myself, as I was honoring the lead talker from Junkyard. And that's when I ran into him, and I asked him what happened. And that's when he told me it was because of my ex. And so for
Wow.
17 years, I didn't even know what was going
Wow.
on. And what happened in regards to me not having this career that I've just all of a sudden just went away.
Right. Well, and you don't I guess people don't think about it too with, even other careers, that it's not just you, but the people around you, what life brings you, shows you how things can work out for you. And like you said, you didn't even know, because a lot of times in these kind of like the music industry or film, they're not even going to talk to you afterwards. So
Mm-mm.
you just kind of got to figure it out or guess
Mhm.
or whatever.
Yeah.
So everybody's kind of powerful into, where this is going to go with you. It kind of leads me into, because I want to find out what you all have coming up. I actually was interested, maybe in a minute, we'll get into a little bit of how you got to the go-go, because actually connected with Chuck Brown. I actually grew up in Millwood, and he was one of my neighbors. Of course,
Mhm.
back then he wasn't the Chuck Brown we know now. And his son went to school with us and everything, so we didn't know. He was Charlie, and we didn't know. But that was back with the Soul Searcher
Soul
Chuck.
searchers.
Yeah, and my mom and them probably were partying with him then. But yeah, he was like the only dad who had like a moped or whatever those things were, and we all wanted to ride. But because he's like, they're the only ones who had one, let's ride. But yeah, he lived right down the street from me. So to see things kind of, change. You never know who you growing up with, who you around. It's kind of nice to see how people's lives went in certain directions and you just didn't even have a clue. But that's why you gotta be careful how you treat people.
That's right.
Because you never know how they're going to, mix in your life and maybe be that stepping stone to get you where
Exactly.
you need to be. So I'm gonna ask Michelle, where do you want to see the song go? And then I want both of you to tell me about any projects you have going on. You tell me a little bit about it. I do want Tamika find out how you got up in that go-go. I'm always fascinated with that because that's a DMV thing for sure. So Michelle, where is season moment going? How many moments we talk about? A lifetime, right?
Lifetime. I just, I had no idea until Quincy said 2 weeks ago. He said, "Oh man, I'm playing it in the club out here. You heard it yourself last night in LA." He
Yeah.
was like, "Man, people asking, do you got more coming?" I said, "Just tell them, hold on a minute. It's more. It's working more. It's working. It's working." I actually was writing last week, so I have my little composition book here, and
I
you
love
know,
it.
yeah. So and then with September the 6th. I announced that on Monday that September the 6th, I am looking for a Seize a Moment challenge. Now, what I mean by that is just the day is Labor Day. Just seize a moment. And you getting the exclusive too here, Lisa. You getting the exclusive.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what I'm gonna do, actually, I was gonna ask DSM and Tamika, and then we're gonna get some videos of people seizing a moment. Um,
Yeah.
you can either get your t-shirt or you can just have a song playing in the background. But to seize a moment, I'm actually gonna do a giveaway for an overnight stay, probably at the National Harbor or something like that at the AC.
Okay.
So we're gonna start it on September the 6th is going to be Seize a Moment Challenge Day. So, I want you to post those videos or, just wear your shirt with the song in the background, or because the song is available on TikTok and all those difficult things, the Pandora, you can even do the song on your Facebook as your background music,
Okay.
Instagram. Yeah. So I'm looking for those videos and we're going to judge them, the Seize a Moment. So September the 6th is the Seize a Moment challenge. And then we will
I
announce
love
the
it.
winner on that Sunday after we get them all in. So yeah, I just hadn't. That's the exclusive. So I was gonna ask DSM Media to
Yes,
help judge those.
absolutely. That is which look, Shariva's on here now. She vacationing, but she hanging tight with us. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
So Shariva, if you give a yes, oh, she said yes. So
She says,
yeah.
she's like, yes, so I guess
Deposit,
we are
yeah.
in.
I mean, like I said, even if you're in your car playing it, we see that. So September the 6th, Labor Day, you home, even in the point of you helping somebody, because again, it says even at the last state can lighten the one, at the last state. You can change that person mindset or wherever else. So yeah, September the 6th is a Seize a Moment challenge.
Love
Yes.
it. Yes, we are
wonderful,
all
wonderful.
in. So Tamika, tell us what's going on with you, what you have going on.
Oh, I am actually working on a project right now. I just finished up a collaboration with a brother named by the name of Joel Lucas. He is a musician and also he sings. So we just actually did a collaboration together. And we're getting ready to release that soon. I also have, and we actually have a release listening party, a pool party with down at the Tantalian pool of Fort Washington next Friday. Actually, next Friday we'll be there for that and just have a good time with a little karaoke down at the pool by the water, the Potomac River, and with a little food and wine and jazz, just a little
That
have a
sounds
good
nice.
time. And so we have that. I have that. So my week next week, Thursday, I'm actually going to be. I want to say it's called the Miracle. The Miracle. I want to say is theater.
Okay.
It's in DC. I do know that. But I'm a part of it's a it's called bullying is the new B word, and
Okay.
I'm going to be actually I'm the grandma of this. It's a play, and
Okay.
so in the play, I'm this grandma who of the my grandchild is being bullied, and so that will be down there where people could come out and watch that. So that'll be Thursday. Of course, Friday will be the pool party, and then Saturday, my organization is having a Bridge Day, Community Day. We'll be giving out book bags, clothes, and food, and vendors, face painting. I have some kids that will be doing a fashion show and a talent showcase. So
Oh,
my
wow.
week my week is going to be crazy and full, but I'm going to be ready for it.
Absolutely. So before we leave, we're going to make sure that they know how to get in touch with you and Michelle so that we can get the song downloaded and that they will be at these events and do this challenge. So before we go to a commercial break, I wanted to also share in the same vein, we have Victoria Holland is having an event this Saturday, which you all can still register for, and it's called Beauty or Beast Unveiled. And it's going to be a powerful seminar. I think you all should take the opportunity to join. We talked about this before, but with Beauty and the Beast, what she's trying to do is get people to recognize how they're operating and showing up in the world. I mean, are you showing up in beast mode or beauty mode? Some people think beast mode is the good mode, and and in some circumstances it may be. But there's some circumstances when you don't even know that you're showing up in the bad beast mode because you think you're doing the daggone thing and you just scaring folks. So it will be a good, and you got to be ready to check self. That's what I always say. You're not going to learn anything if you're not ready to look in the mirror and check yourself on some stuff. So please, if you have an opportunity, sign up for Victoria Holland's seminar. I will be there on Saturday morning. I can't wait. I think it's a powerful message. As soon as it came out her mouth, I was like, oh, I am there whenever you do that, because it's kind of the theme behind Beauty and the Beast, but I love the connection and how she kind of is going to roll this out. So please take note of that. I'm also going to share with you all that on August 28th, I will be, along with all of my cast members, there is a movie coming out called Old School Rollers. And it's the new generation meets the old generation on one floor. I am so excited because not only am I in a part of this film, but I get to play myself. So I am Lisa Dove Washington in the movie, and I'm also allowed to highlight as host of DSM Exclusives, which is my Dove Style magazine. So I am so honored. It was so cool to do the set, to be, and you all who know me know that we are skaters. My husband skated on as a matter of fact, my husband was a skate member of the Rolling Skulls back in Forestville all them years ago. So and we met in Crystal Skate 32 years ago. So to be able to be in a movie that kind of highlights Crystal Skate, Seabrook Skate, all the places that we still go to, we still skate. I just think that that's so awesome. It's kind of a legacy thing, because my son now, who's 22, actually goes to adult night skate with us. So it just reminds me of back in the day. I mean, and I know y'all going to laugh. I mentioned this the other day when we had them last week on the show, the producer and assistant director. And I told him, I said, before my husband and I got married, when we dated, I lived in Georgia for a minute, and I would get on the road to make sure I was at Crystal Skate by 8 o'clock on Thursday night. So skating is more serious to me and my family than people know. So this was a huge honor. I think you all are going to love this movie. It's a feel-good movie, as Tree Walters, who's a producer, explained, because you get tired of hearing all of the the bad stuff, people dying, people hurt. And skating is just a thing. It's a DMV thing. It's a Atlanta thing too, but everybody skates different. But it's something about DMV and the fact that we were actually about to lose our skating rinks. This was actually happening, and we were in the middle of filming when Crystal Skate was being shut down. And in the middle of it, they extended it. So I'm hoping that this will bring things back to life. And keep skating on the map, because I think it's a safe place.
Yes.
It's a place where people can release all of that stuff. And I mentioned this last week that, you think about it, you went to the skating rink and there was no alcohol and all that kind of stuff. You just went for some old fashioned fun and falling and everything else. I ain't trying to fall. But so I'm excited about it. I haven't seen it yet, but you can still go to Eventbrite, Old School Rollers, and get tickets to see the viewing at 12 o'clock or at 3 o'clock. We gave away tickets last week. And I think Darcel was the winner, and Maria Thorpe were the winner of tickets for that day. So it's going to be exciting. I can't wait. This is actually my second film. I was in a film, T Money Productions. Antoine T Money has is actually on demand called CEO the series, and I played a newscaster in that movie in the very beginning. So that was exciting, and I had a little talking role, but to be a host, and so I was like, okay, I'm not an actress, but I am having a ball and seizing some moments. Okay,
That's right.
That's what I'm doing. I'm seizing some moments. So I'm excited. I'm excited for you, Michelle, and Tamika. I mean, it just shows we're doing the daggone thing. So I wanted to point this out before we go to a quick commercial, and then we're going to talk about a quick subject before we say goodbye to everybody. But you all may not know, and one of the commercials was about DSM Media, which is a business that myself and Sharifa Smith started because we noticed that, Luncheon with Lisa is on, but we know that other people want to do their thing, and whether it's interviewing or getting it out there, sometimes it's a lot behind the scenes to be managing everything, and we wanted to make it easy for folks. So we provide a service where we not only do videos and flyers and promotion and marketing things, but we actually handle the background so people can come out here and do their thing. And to share the collaboration that's going on further than, we got Seize a Moment with Tamika and Michelle. And the three of us are connected because Shariva, who's on vacation right now, enjoy yourself, girl, but she is part of DSM Media. And DSM Media actually does the background production for Michelle's show, which is Upfront Mind, Body, Soul podcast that comes on Wednesdays, every single Wednesday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we have Luncheon with Lisa, where we take care of Luncheon with Lisa every Thursday, 7 to 8 Eastern Standard Time. And now we added the Stars with Tamika Joy show that comes on every Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. So we have got the week locked down Wednesday to Friday to prepare you for a good weekend. And after your week gets started, we start on Wednesday with bringing you back down because we know that work gets hard. So you all need to start tuning in and following DSM Media. You need to be following Tamika Joy. You need to be following Michelle Boulden-Hammond. They each have pages for the Stars with Tamika Joy. We have Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul with Michelle Hammond. And we have some awesome shows. What I like about it is that all of our shows are different, but they're still connected. So I will say, Michelle realized it before I did that we were all connected. I was like, oh my goodness, we got the whole DSM Media crew on our live. So congratulations to you all. Thank you so much for, supporting DSM Media.
Thank you.
Loving your shows. And yeah, we're a team. So every week I'm shouting out Michelle on Wednesday, Lunch at least on we're going to make sure y'all got something to do to wind down before you get ready for your next day. So that was a plus to, what's going on here tonight. So collaboration at its best.
It's a key. It's a key.
Absolutely. So, and let's go into what I want to go in before we say goodbye. We're going to talk a little bit. So what we have is a new segment of Lunching with Lisa where we kind of talk about who's lunching. Like what are people lunching about these days? So the topic for today was dealing with, women and collaborating and supporting each other's dreams. I did want to, have a little talk about this mask thing. I'm gonna throw that in there real quick because I have a little vent moment I want to share, because we're gonna seize this moment and talk about how y'all gonna wear these masks the right way. That's what we're gonna talk about, because y'all lunching out there. That's what we're gonna do. Since we gotta do it, y'all gonna do this right, okay? But before we get into that, before we say goodbye, I wanted to talk a little bit about collaborations with Michelle and Tamika, and talk about how difficult it can be, how challenging it can be. So I want to remind everybody, this is the topic, or the segment where we have Who's Lunching? Let's talk about it. And I have a lunchbox where we have an email. You can email me at mrsldwashington@gmail.com, and we can drop topics into what is our lunchbox, the Lisa Lunching with Lisa lunchbox. Okay, so we need you all to email in some topics so we can throw them in and talk about them. So we're trying to build this up. I know we just started for a second season, but I really want, we can talk about masks, we can talk about the pandemic, we can talk about relationships, but y'all send me some topics in that we can talk about, because we're going to put the guests on the spot. So y'all lucky because we just started this, so we ain't got no juicy stuff in the box. We don't have no juicy stuff in the lunchbox right now, but we do want to talk about collaboration for a couple of minutes, and what you see as the challenges and things that we can work on to do more of what I see us doing, the three of us at least, and Shariva, and that. Because that's positive collaboration, but there can be some bad collaborations going on, and we got to do better. Because we say we're supporting and collaborating, but we're not. So let's talk about it. What are y'all thoughts on that?
So one of the things that I can say.
I'm sorry, Michelle. Please do, Tashika. Email me and I will drop something in the box. I love it.
So one of the things that we must remember in the collaboration, everybody's got a different flow, a way of collaborating, and we all got different personalities. We all got different ways we do things, but it all got to bind up to us having integrity. So
talk about it.
Ooh, yes. I'm talking about that one.
Yes.
So and you must be careful that everyone wants to attach on you, because I see this myself now.
Mm-hmm.
People coming out the woodworks that I have.
How about that?
People coming out the woodworks, and I mean, it is what it is, but we got to remember, and I don't believe that sisters can't get along. I do not believe that, but integrity builds up your collaborations, and we must remember that each and every individual work differently, and you have to pull all those personalities in together, and you all got to have the right team mindset. Put that way.
That's
team
right.
mindset.
That's right.
So and again, thanks, Dr. Tashika. She is on here. And
yes.
my sister Roxanne, she's on here.
Yes,
she said building, building stronger sisterhood, and that's one thing I learned from her about collaboration and when you networking. And a lot of people don't even realize, as for me, some of the rooms that I be in, I have no idea how I got in there. And the first time most people will say it's because of your personality. You should always have the right agenda. And I believe that's the reason why God blesses me and puts me in the right room and has the right people around, because of the right mindset and the right motive. So that's one thing that I would say, how collaborations, you got to make sure that it's built around integrity. And you got to always realize that everybody's going to have different personalities, but make sure that it's all integrity built around it.
Absolutely. I agree. I mean, I've learned so much in the middle of COVID, and I'm a giver at heart. It's unfortunate because what I had to start doing was understanding that everybody's not going to read you properly, and it's okay. Because I would really, kind of get bothered by, hey, I'm a good person, but it's so much mess going on that sometimes people have trust issues. So you get grouped in with people who are doing certain things, and you trying to like, hey, that's not me. But I had to stop worrying about that, and also worrying about, I'm a real stickler for reciprocity. That's one of my words. I just feel like let's work together. And I used to get offended because a lot of times you giving. We talked about this earlier, Tamika. You giving to folks that will never give you back. But I don't give to get. It's just that everybody is human to want some kind of appreciation or something. But I had to learn how to redirect that energy, because otherwise you're going to be disappointed all the time. And everybody's not going to see your worth, your value. And really you have to chalk it up to, and it's not an arrogance, but people are going to miss out. They're going to miss out on good people, because sometimes what's flashing is not necessarily what's good and what's the greatest. And I'm always kind of for those who never get seen or rarely get seen, because there are people doing great things, and there are people doing great things that you can see, but there are also great people who you never see. And I like to kind of shine the light on them, just to bring them to the front too, to give people more options. It's really a lot more options than we think out here, but some people just go with what's regular, what's known, what's comfortable. So I'm hoping that we can kind of step out of some of them boxes. Tamika, what's your feeling on it?
I definitely agree. What's popular, who's the, got the in, all those different things. I definitely, it's all true. And that's why I'm the person that gives the underdogs the moment to shine, because I'm a stickler for that in regards to giving someone an opportunity and stepping outside the box. And so a lot of people try to understand why I am, like you said, I'm definitely, the integrity is definitely on the high list for me when it comes to individuals and collaborations and being a part of building and connecting, but also accountability. I think is definitely another one, because within that integrity, keeping one another accountable for some of the things that you have you communicate about and want to bring visions together. If it's all about that one person, and they become, it's me, a me, then it's not a collaboration, it's a and so making that person accountable of, listen, this is what we basically said we were going to do, or and this is what it's a joint situation. I think that's another thing that's definitely something that people don't want to, or if, say for instance, you want to collab with someone and they get what they got what they got out of the situation, but you guys talked about some of the other things that you were going to do, and then all of a sudden they're no longer available, or they don't have any interest because they've gotten what they want to get, then the accountability is not in format. And so I think a lot of that that's where a lot of people go wrong in regards to, or they don't necessarily continue to work together because of the accountability of one's integrity, keeping their word.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I like Dr. Tashika said, we strive for purpose, not popularity. And that's the thing. And people, it's like, you will be seen. And I've told, when I've had frustrations with certain things, and then had people just kind of approach, say, look, and I had to realize the right people will see you for what you're doing, and things will happen in God's time. So every now, everything happens for a reason. And I do realize that, I think Roxanne was the one that said deleting jealous spirits. And sometimes it's not even jealous spirits. It's just that people who don't even know what their purpose is. So they can't understand what you're doing. So I try to, really kind of remove myself from really kind of expecting from, why am I expecting from people? I don't even know these people sometimes. So why do I have all these huge expectations on how they should respond or what they should be seeing? I'm just going to do me. And really, I'm about giving people a platform, or I want to hear about what people are doing. It's like when plays and music like Michelle going on and people don't know about, I'm like, why y'all don't know about this? These are people that sit right next to you in the conference. you looking at the person on stage and don't realize that the person sitting next to you got a song out too. So why not listen to both? Why we got to do one or the other? So I love this conversation. I like everything that you said. Thank you all for chiming in, Roxanne and Dr. Tashika. This has been great. So we want to close out. I didn't want to let y'all go. That's why we
I know.
right at time.
So funny.
But
And that's so funny. That's so funny when you said people don't even know. So I have some family members where I sang last weekend at a family member's memorial who had passed last year. And my cousin goes, "You got a song?" I said, "Yes." I'm like, he said, "Oh man, I didn't know that." I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, I got a couple of things going on this." And it's funny you said about Junkyard Band because they're actually going to be in the Groove City Culture Fest this weekend where I'll be performing too this weekend.
Look at God, just collaborating and connecting all over the place. Look, so I wanted to remind everybody we have a product highlight moment where we highlight a product. So in lieu of and I invite people to please send me, if you have a t-shirt or send me something, let me share it. Shout out, I am one for wearing the shirt, putting it on, talking about it. So send me items, but for right now we want to highlight Seize a Moment. Michelle, tell them where they can find Seize a Moment and get the CD or the single or whatever they need to do. You let them know real quick and how to connect with you. And then Tamika, we coming to you because they need to find y'all. This thing's happening here.
So basically there's a YouTube video where you can look at the video on YouTube, and it's under the Upfront Mind, Body, and Soul channel. They're also most streaming. You can download Pandora, Apple iTunes, TikTok, all of those streaming devices, Spotify, all of those, you can get the song from there. I have it at work all over the place.
I know that's right. And where can they find you, Michelle, on social media?
So on my social media, you can reach out to me on the Michelle B. Hammond, singer and songwriter on Facebook, or you can actually, and my Instagram is Upfront Mind and Body. You can find me there.
Wonderful. Now, Tamika, tell us where we can find you because you have some events coming up as well. And remind that Michelle has a Seize a Moment challenge coming up September 6th. Tamika, tell them where they can find you and what you have going on this weekend.
They can go to my website, tamikajoy.com. They can go on Facebook at It's Tamika Joy. On Twitter and Instagram, it's Tamika_Joy.
Okay. And reminder, Michelle comes on Wednesdays. Tamika will be on tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, streaming. So no excuses. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Dr. Tashika is on it. TamikaJoy.com. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you do. And you know what? I'm glad you did that because one of the things that I did when people always say I don't have time, I don't this is my little tip before we say goodbye, is that there is time to show a little love to somebody. There are many times that I've hopped on people's lives and didn't have a lot of time to sit for the whole thing, but just went on to say hello, share that I'm going to their event, or I bought a ticket, or say something. So there is time. That's no excuse. And I mean, personally speaking, and this is just coming from Lisa Dove Washington, we just got to do better. But I know we can. So I'm encouraging everybody. So please tune in every Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to DSM Media, because that's where they'll be streaming as well, but also to Tamika Joy and Michelle Boulden-Hammond. And again, Luncheon with Lisa comes on every Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're looking forward to Dr. Tashika. Please drop me those subjects. I can put them in my lunchbox. And we look forward to seeing you next Thursday. Thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate you. So until next time, thank you, Michelle and Tamika, for joining me today.
You're welcome.
And I look forward. I'm seeing y'all every week anyway, but I look forward to seeing you all. It's like y'all can't get rid of us. We're going to be here no matter what. But thank y'all so much. And we will, let me see. We had a couple more comments we wanted to get in. Tashika, I got you, Lisa. She got all of it. Dr. Tashika is just a bomb. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. That's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. And thank you, Roxanne. Many blessings to you too.
Yes,
So
Roxanne.
until next time, we will see you again. So see y'all next Thursday.
All right.